Today we're going to take a quick look at how you can add captions to any video that you might have on campus using Adobe Premiere Pro. The first thing you want to do is download Adobe Premiere Pro. In order to do that, access your University of Michigan provided laptop or desktop computer and open the Managed Software Center. Once you have the Managed Software Center open, ensure that you have software selected in the menu to the left, and then you're going to search for Adobe CC Premiere Pro. If you do not have the program installed, you'll see a blue link beneath Adobe CC Premiere Pro. Click on that link to download the program. Once Adobe Premiere Pro is open, find and click on New Project in the menu to the top left. So once you see this next page, you're going to want to click where it says Project Name in the top left. Go ahead and type the desired project name. Next, you can press Enter on your keyboard or click anywhere else on the pane in order to save that project name. Once you've done that, find and click Create on the bottom right of the page. You'll be taken to your Adobe Premiere Pro dashboard. This dashboard is going to look a little different for users depending on if they've ever accessed the program before and changed some of the defaults. There are a few specific items that you should see no matter what. The first is a section called Timeline. The next should say Program, No Sequences. And then you should see a section that says Import or Add Media. The other sections tend to vary. What we want to do is start by pulling a video into this program. All I'm going to do is move my Adobe Premiere Pro window just a little bit, and you can see I have this file on my desktop. What I want to do is drag and drop this file into the timeline on my dashboard. When I release, you're going to see I actually have some items appearing on my timeline now. In addition to filling in the timeline, my media pane now also displays the video, and my program pane displays a preview of the video. In the program pane, I can find and click play. If I do that, I'll also have the option to stop the video. This allows me to know what part of the video I'm working with as I'm editing. In the timeline, you'll also see a blue cursor. You can drag this cursor to the right or left to access a different part of your video. We're not going to focus a ton on these elements today because, like I said before, it's just about adding captions. What I do want to do is make sure my blue cursor is all the way to the left of the timeline, so starting at my 0-second mark. The next thing we need to do is add captions into our dashboard. In order to do this, find and click the Workspaces icon on the top right of the program. Then click on Captions and Graphics. Once you've selected this item, you're going to want to go to the Source No Clips pane. And there will be multiple tabs available within this pane. There should be Lumetri, Effect Controls, Text, and Audio Clip Mixer. In order to work with captions, find and click on Text. As you can see, we have 3 new tabs appear. They're Transcript, Captions, and Graphics. In order to make our work the easiest workflow it can be, I suggest you start by clicking on Transcript. It's going to list the video you've pulled into your timeline, and next to it there will be a Transcribe button. Click on Transcribe. So now that I have some generated transcripts in this pane, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing the video so I can hear the sound from it. This way I can hear what's actually being said. I'm going to watch the video while paying attention to my transcripts just to make sure that the transcripts are correct. In order to update this transcript, I'm simply going to double-click on what I'd like to change. This generates a text box for me where I can edit anything that needs to be edited. I'll go ahead and type my fix for Illumidesk. And then I'm going to add a period because grammatically there should be one there. I can keep working through all of my transcripts, making sure I edit the grammar or spelling of any item that needs to be fixed. If I push spacebar or play on my preview pane, we'll be able to watch the video and hear it as we're working. You'll see that while the video is playing, it actually highlights in blue the area that it is referring to in the video. This allows me to be able to track what needs to be fixed very quickly. Once I have updated all of my transcripts, what I'm going to do is find and click the Closed Caption button at the top of the pane. This is going to create closed captions or subtitles based on the fixes that I just made to the transcript. So we'll click that button, and now we have a few options available for our captions. Click the arrow next to Captioning Preferences. Leave the format at Subtitle. You can make some changes to how many length in characters or duration in seconds, or even gaps between captions you'd like available. I tend to use the defaults for these options, but once you start seeing your captions, you might realize you want to change something up or do something different. What I do look at is lines. By default, it's set to double, and that means there will be 2 lines of text at the bottom of each pane. I actually prefer single. I don't like to throw too much text at a person at one time. You can pick whatever you prefer here. I'm going to choose single. Once that's all set, I'm going to click Create Captions. This is going to generate the captions for my video. In my timeline, I can move my cursor right or left and see that captions or subtitles are now appearing in the entire video. However, what I do want to do is verify that my subtitles or captions are readable. In good news, this looks pretty readable because we have white font on a color background. However, let's take a look at how we can make changes to what our captions look like. What you want to do is ensure that Essential Graphics is chosen in the menu to the right. If you're not seeing this, I usually find this subtitle bar under the timeline and click on any of the video clips. And that usually makes this item appear off to the right. Once I do that, in the text pane, I'll click into number 1, so it is highlighted. So in this menu to the right, I have a few options. The first is text or font style. So I can choose a different font or text style. You can choose regular or bold formatting. You can left align, center align, and as you can see, my text in the preview pane is moving when I change that. Under Align and Transform, by default, the captions are always going to be placed in the bottom center, but I can change that. I can put it in the very middle of the page if I want. I could do middle left. I could do top left. Basically pick the zone or area where you'd like your captions to be. Next we have appearance. So let's say we have an entirely white background for our entire video. Fill is the text color or the color of our font. So white wouldn't work. If I wanted to change that, I could just double click on this color here. A little color picker appears and I can choose the color that I want, so I can change it to black. You might notice on this color background here, black doesn't work very well. The white was actually a little bit better. So in this instance, I am going to change it back. But keep in mind, you want to find something with good, readable color contrast. One thing I like to do, especially if I have varied backgrounds throughout the video, is to make my captions consistently have a black background with white text. In order to do that, under background, I'm going to check the box to turn on a background. And by default, it's an opaque gray, but if you look at my subtitle, there's now a background that is opaque gray. What I can do is double click in this gray box and again choose a color. So I'll choose black. And then I'm actually going to, beneath that, I have this opacity option where I can drag and drop the slider to change my opacity. So I'm going to take that to 100% to get a solid black background. I kind of like that. One thing I don't like is that my captions are very close to the edge of that black box. So the next option or slider under background is if I drag that to the right or left, I can increase the space around my text. And then the third option will round the edges of my border or background. Once you have the captions that you want and you want to apply them to your entire video, we're going to scroll to the top and find Track Style. We're going to click on the Redefine Style button, ensure all captions on track is chosen, and then press OK. This is going to change the captions in the entire video to match what we just set. So if I take my cursor and drag it to the right, you're going to see all of my captions now line up with exactly what I just set as my caption style. Once I feel good about my captions, I can do a few different things. In the text pane, click the 3 dots icon and choose Export, and you can export your captions to a text file, CSV file, or SRT file. If you want transcripts, you can click on the Transcript tab. Again, click the 3 dots icon, choose Export, and you can export transcript to a text file or to a CSV file. Once you're ready to export your video and share with others, you can find and click Export along the top of the program. Ensure the file name matches what you'd like this to be saved as on your computer. Next, choose a location. If you'd like to change your save location, just click on this link and choose where you'd like to save it on your computer. Under Preset, leave Match Source selected. And then finally, next to Format, make sure you have H.264 chosen so it will save as an MP4 video. Once those settings are in place, find and click Export on the bottom right. This can take a little bit of time to export your file. It depends on how long your video is. The longer the video, the longer the file will take to export. Once your file is successfully exported, you're going to want to find the video on your computer. Once open, I recommend you press play and verify that the video and the captions match exactly what you would like. If the video is not what you want, you can come back into the editor and make any changes that you would like to your captions or your caption styles by clicking on one of the captions and again, making your changes and updates. Be sure to click the Redefine Style button to apply it to all of the captions throughout the video.